Hello, folks. This is Bob Safale. I want to thank you for attending this special sneak peek briefing. This is a short briefing. I am recording this so that I can then send it out later. But I appreciate you all coming who wanted to go ahead and see what we're doing with funnel systems. Before I get started, I just want to make sure you can hear me clearly. Uh, some of you have not been to a webinar of mine before, but there's a little thing on the upper right hand corner. You'll see a little hand. If you can click on that hand, Jacques, I think you know how to do it. Can you hear me clearly, Jacques? Because most people have not done this before. Just click it on and off, Jacques, if you hear me clearly. I do appreciate that. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Um, what I wanted to describe to you in the development of what's called the funnel system is tell you what there was before, and then you're going to understand quite a bit, why funnel systems, particularly celebrity-based systems, are so important. But let's focus on a key thing right now. Most people right now on important decisions, where they're going to, find financial resources, health resources. They're buying something important, buying something big, solving a problem. People now go to the internet first. That's where they're going when they want to resolve a big problem, and certainly issues regarding health, uh, pain, handling these kind of things are big decisions. They go to the internet first. And because they go to the internet first to find out information, naturally the doorstep to your practice or your office or whatever. And by the way, this funnel I'm going to be doing a sneak peek on is a funnel that was built for a medical practice. So understand that when people are making important decisions, they're going to the internet, they're doing Google searches, they're looking for information, which means that ultimately they are going to meet you or meet your practice or meet your company on what you have as a website or a web property. So the first thing they're going to meet, the first impression that somebody is going to have regarding you is what you have online. Okay? And in the late 2005, 2006, 2007, many people were doing websites, and most people do websites now, your standard websites. Now I'm going to show you the website of the client that I'm working with regarding this funnel, and this is the website right here. It's Apple Medical Centers, and that's your classic traditional website. Now, this is a very nice website. It's high quality pictures, good organization. But nevertheless, a website 10 years ago was much more effective then than now. And the reason is simple. If you take a look at the navigation bar, which is that blue bar where you see home, about, services, blog, forms, insurance, testimonial, contact. If you send brand new people to a website like this, even though this is very, very good, if you were to do a Google campaign or a Facebook campaign, and this is where you sent people, the typical bounce rate off of even very good sites is 95% leave a site under 10 seconds. So out of 100 people, 95% of those people are going to split underneath 10 seconds. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're sending them to a site and they don't know what to do. Do they hit home? Do they hit about? What do they do? They hit the site. Where do they go? And the minute you make somebody have to make a decision, you're asking for trouble. So what happened in the 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, basically what the next level of evolution of a web property was what's called a single page lead form. Now I don't have one ready to show you right here, but essentially it was a one page information and then somebody filled out a lead form. Now, one page of information is fine, and filling out a lead form is fine. But when you're talking about a high ticket item, something where you're going to charge thousands and thousands of dollars, you have to do a little bit better than a one-page lead form to get a high conversion rate. So that was the need, providing a sequence of information that educated, that was persuasive. That was the need that has been now fulfilled with what's called a funnel system. A funnel is like a website, only it's linear, meaning you go to one page, you get data, you go to the next page. Then if that page causes you to want more information, then you fill out a lead form, and then an email sequence starts, typically one every couple days for a number of days. So, and then there's additional emails that are sent out over time. So the type of funnel system that we've developed does four things. The first thing you've got to do when you're going to charge somebody a whole lot of money is you have to personalize the experience. You got to grab their attention, but also personalize the experience. The person who's about to make a big decision and go, I want to spend a lot of money with somebody, they got to feel like they know the ownership or the people that run the company. So you got to personalize. Then the second thing you have to do is educate. Then after you educate to a certain degree, you've got to tell them what to do. And then whether they do what you tell them to do or not, whether it's make an appointment, fill out a lead form, or buy something, you then need to follow up, follow up, follow up. And last but not least, you have to convert. They have to do something that exchanges money for your services or offers. So let's go through those again. You got to personalize, educate, follow up, and convert. So I'm now going to show you the first page, and I'm going to describe all the things we're going to be doing with Apple Medical Center. And here's the first page that people see. And I'm not going to describe how people get to the first page yet, because that's a lot of information. I'm just going to show you the first page. Now, bang, here's the first page. Now, what are we doing here with this? Okay, here it is. There's the first page. Sorry. That's the first page. Whoop. Here we go. That's the first page. Grabs their attention. 90% of active adults don't know about this pain relief breakthrough. Now, right there, that's called a hook. Now, the first page has got to basically grab them first with a piece of information that stops them or freezes them. You got to stop and freeze. Then, with this particular type of funnel, what we did is we put together a video that's customized and custom made to personalize the two main doctors of this practice. And I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to show you within the webinar what that video looks like, and you tell me if this doesn't grab attention and personalize. We're going to see if I can do this right. Hold on one second. Here we go.
Do you want to live life pain-free and regain the active lifestyle you once had? Are you tired of never-ending pain? Would you like real relief from chronic pain without drugs or surgery? Would you like to regain the ability to move freely so you can play with your kids and grandkids without aches and pains? Have you tried to get relief from chronic pain in the past only to relapse, or worse, resort to pain medication? Have you given up hope on being active again because you think your aches and pains are just a sign of getting older? Meet Dr. Mike Carberry and Dr. Scott DePole, who are among the foremost regenerative therapy specialists in North America. Their expertly administered breakthrough treatments can restore your active lifestyle and end your chronic pain and physical deterioration. Here's Dr. Carberry describing how and why they began to make this treatment available.
That's a very personal question, and I'll tell you the story. When I was 25, I met my wife. I was not involved in healthcare at all. I used to box, I used to do martial arts, I had some motorcycle accidents, but I really had no symptoms until one day I was walking on the beach with my wife and I was trying to show off, and I jumped up to hang from the thing they hang the lifeguard boats on, and when I hit the beach, I felt like I got struck by lightning and I went paralyzed. I collapsed on the beach, I couldn't feel anything in my body. And I was that way for about a minute, and that was the longest minute of my life because there was nobody standing there saying, don't worry, it's only temporary. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. After that injury, I went straight to the emergency room, and the doctor told me, I think you broke your neck, as they're strapping me into a headboard and took a bazillion x-rays. The good news was they came out and said, okay, you didn't break your neck. The bad news was they said, we don't know what you did. So here's a bunch of medication. Here's a list of doctors. Good luck. So I started off, like you, as a patient, trying to solve my own health problems.
Now let's hear from Dr. DePaul on how the process works and how he began to practice regenerative medicine.
We look at you and we know you came in because of the symptoms that you're experiencing. But our goal is to find out functionally where and why are you experiencing this problem? Why is it persisting? We go beyond and we look at the missing pieces of the puzzle to figure out what your exact problem is. So a patient came into our office and he had a failed back surgery. That failed back surgery, he went in for a simple procedure that he was told was only going to be a 1 hour procedure, maybe less. Ended up being a 4 to 5 hour procedure, and when he came out, he had lost function of his legs. They told him that permanently he was going to have to wear braces to keep his feet up off the ground to be able to walk. He'd have to walk with crutches, and he had no feeling. And this was going to be the way he had to live the rest of his life. Within 6 weeks, he was walking without the braces. To this day right now, he does not wear those braces. He has feeling back in his feet. He's regained the ability to do all those things that he lost because of losing the use of his legs. I felt proud to be involved in the integrated practice team that enabled him to regain his life.
So if you want to live life pain-free and recover the active lifestyle you once had, now is your chance. You don't have to take our word for it. Here are just a few of the many thousands of success stories from our patients. Rosanna said, "My visit went exceptionally well. In less than 1 week, I've noticed that my pain level is greatly decreased and my mobility has improved. I should have had this done much sooner. Thank you, Apple Medical Center." Wayman said, "We went to your seminar with some skepticism, but the presentation made sense. The exam, which included x-rays, was a great value, and the follow-up assessment was detailed and gave us some hope for relief from Linda's arthritis and my scoliosis. We both had our treatments yesterday. We feel fine today and look forward to a lot of improvement in lifestyle." Doreen said, "Great staff helping me get the best treatment for my knees, wrist, and hands. No surgery for me." Kevin said, "The concept of integrated healthcare is one I fully support. The goal of avoiding drugs or surgery while recognizing that those two options might be necessary is sorely needed. This is the right approach for a healthier you." The deterioration that comes from chronic pain does not improve without treatment and can even get worse. So if you suffer from chronic pain, lack of mobility, or any type of physical deterioration, don't delay. Life without pain is priceless and is now available through these breakthrough therapies. Complete the form on this page to get the details on this vital information.
Same driver's seat with me. So once again, that gives you an idea of how we exactly personalize with the first video. And the first page doesn't get into too much information. We don't kill people with too much data. We want to get the process going, and that's why you see that. Then once they've seen that video and they go, okay, well, I want to learn more, then they go to the second page. They fill out the lead form, which they only have to provide their email address. That's all. So the first page, we're getting a preliminary lead. So page 1, they see that video, they read some basic information, they see some basic information, then they go, yeah, I want to learn more, and they fill out a simple lead form that we only get their email address. Then they go to the long, and this is what's called a sales letter. All right? And it basically, this larger video goes, I'm not going to show this because it takes a little long, but this video goes into key points behind why somebody would want to learn and get an appointment right away. Once again, it personalizes with the doctors. And in this case, you have 2 different doctors. And with a sales page like this, you want to give people the opportunity. You don't want to have them have to go all the way to the bottom to go ahead and say, I want to talk to somebody right away. You want to give them, some people are ready to go. So they'll be at the very top of the page. They'll see this video. They'll go, I'm ready to go. And so you have to have some way where they can, okay, for the people that are ready to go, you have to allow them the ability to click on that form and then go. We're going to talk about what happens next. Now, some people may want more information. Well, that's why we have the Shark Tank Star interview. Okay, because once again, what we're doing is we're positioning the doctor with celebrities. And here we got the Shark Tank Star. We have the interview. This is more credibility because remember, there are 4 things we're attempting to do. I'm going to keep on saying this. Personalize the doctor, educate, which certainly the videos educate. Then we get into follow-up and conversion. Now, let's say they've watched the Shark Tank video and maybe they want to learn a little bit more. Well, here we go. We give additional videos. For instance, here, Mike Carberry, the doctor in this case, talks about, well, why did he get involved with regenerative medicine in the first place? And then the next video with Dr. Scott DePaul, he talks about one of the top success stories he had in the field of regenerative medicine. And once again, we give people the opportunity to go, okay, I've seen these videos, I'm ready to go. Believe it or not, there's more people who want to get more information. So we give them more information. They can keep on reading. Some people are ready to go here. Some people aren't. They want to learn about what's this priority appointment? What does this include? What am I getting? What's the deal? Okay. Some people may want more information. And believe me, there are people who want to gather a lot of information when they're talking about their health, when they're talking about finances, when they're talking about, wealth, jobs, things like that. So with a properly constructed sales letter, which is now in a digital form with videos and data, you want to keep on giving them data until, guess what? They're ready to go. Now, even you think to yourself, boy, God, we give them so much information, so much data, so much education. Well, some people still aren't ready to go. So you just got to give them more information. And then what you really want to have is at the bottom of the page, you want to have what I call the closer video. It's, okay, it's time to get rolling. Let's go. So that's what that is. So in this particular type of sales funnel or lead funnel, you have the front page, which you've now seen. Okay, there's your front page. That's where the traffic goes to. We're going to get into that in a second. That has your introduction video, which personalizes and educates, creates credibility. They watch that. You say, okay, do you want more information? They fill out the lead form. They go to the second page. Bang. Okay, now, here's what we do with our funnel system. The biggest problem with leads when somebody fills out a lead form is they get old fast. And what I mean by that is every hour that goes by where somebody has filled out a lead and they don't talk to somebody or get contacted, the lead gets a little staler. And I'm telling you, if you don't get a hold of somebody within 24 hours on some type of lead generation system, I mean, the value of the lead has dropped dramatically. So what do? When somebody fills out the lead form on this particular funnel, okay, when somebody fills that out, they're going to see this, boom, and they're going to give us their telephone number in the form of a cell number. That's what we want, cell number. We're going to be adjusting the language slightly here. We get their cell number because we want to be able to text. We want to get their first and last name. We want their email address. Now, guess what happens with our funnel? When they click on that, yes, I'm ready to be pain free. The minute they click that on, all of a sudden a telephone number comes up immediately. And this is the special appointment specialist telephone number that's 24/7, 365 days. It's literally, they can call that number at any time, and they'll have a live person who does the following. Thanks them for getting started. Lets them know that they can have an appointment set up right away, right now. They get the day they would like the appointment to be. They get they get whether the person wants morning or afternoon. They get that data. Then they have the person literally tell them the hour they want the appointment. Then the screener, or the specialist as we call them, lets them know where the office is, and then lets them know that they will get a follow-up call right away, letting them know more information, but that their appointment is set. It's locked in. And then the follow-up call is going to give more information and do further screening and further data collection. But what we're doing here with this particular type of funnel is the person's ready to go. They've taken the time to go through this funnel process. They've been educated. They want to talk to somebody. They want to lock in a time, lock in a date, lock in an hour. And that's what we do right that moment. And you ask yourself, why would you have it 24/7, 365? Because with important subject matter like pain, sometimes people have pain in the middle of the night, and they're like, "Oh my God, I got to do something about this." And they'll do searches. You'll have people who are up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they want to do something about it. They want to at least get data. They want to get information. So you want to be able to be there right away to connect up with that person, lock in the day, lock in the time, lock in the hour, and let them know there's going to be a follow-up call. In fact, the screener even finds out when's the best time to call for the follow-up call. So we've touched them quickly. Now you ask yourself, what kind of follow-up are we doing? All right. So let's say by chance, and by the way, that appointment information is sent live right to wherever in this case, the practice wants, that information is sent to their appointment people to do the follow-up call right after that, the very next morning. Okay. Now, let's say the person didn't call, didn't set up an appointment. Well, this is where email sequencing is vital. So with our funnels, we develop a whole series of follow-up emails that go out to that person literally instantly the minute they fill out that lead form. Boom! They're getting hit with an email. And that email is all about education, supplying valuable information. So 24 hours later, another email hits. That's your follow-up. Then 24 hours later, another email hits. Then 24 hours, another. And each time it's a fresh email with the objective of getting that person to go ahead and click on a link and talk to our live person to set up an appointment. Now that sequence can go on for days and days and days. But with our funnel system, when we set up a funnel, here is the next step of what we do. We do multiple things to drive traffic to the funnel and to do follow-up constantly, week after week after week. So how do we get people to the funnel? Well, in the case of this client, this particular client over many years has generated thousands and thousands and thousands of leads of people that have expressed interest in the past. So you know what the first thing is we do? We start a very specific email sequence designed for their database. So we start, first step is doing a very, very specific email campaign to draw people into the funnel to start setting appointments. Because in this case, a person that's signing up for regenerative medicine, when they sign up, it could be anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 for which is a bargain, by the way, to basically address and handle pain, long-term reoccurring pain. I mention that because if you have a database of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, if you do a properly designed email campaign, your conversion rate should be 1 to 2%, even as high as 3% for the old leads. So if they have 10,000 leads, the conversion rate can be literally, over a period of time, hundreds of patients. Now, that's not going to happen in one day. It will happen over a period of months, but you'll start getting immediate patients immediately with the system. So if you have 2,000 leads from the past, one would reasonably expect over a period of several months to bring in an additional 20 to 40, even 50 patients just from the email campaign to old leads. Now, once we've turned that campaign on, which lasts typically between 7 to 14 days, then our Google campaign starts. Now, Google is uniquely designed for products or services that cost more than $1,000. If you aren't using a Google campaign that's targeted, and if you have a product or service which is over $1,000 the first sale, you have to use Google. Because when you look at the math, just think of the math. Clicks for health-related products can be between $5 and $10. A good conversion should be 1 lead out of every 10 to 15 clicks. And a good conversion of that should be 1 out of 3 or 1 to 4, 1 to 5, somewhere around there. So the cost of an acquisition of virtually any product, even if you paid the most possible for your clicks, for your prospects, should be $250 to $500, maybe $700. And listen, if the person's paying $6,000, $10,000, $15,000 and your cost of customer acquisition is $250 to $750, you should do that all day long. Why do we pick Google? Because Google is where most people go to get information about things that are a big, big problem. And when you get somebody who's decided to search on Google, they've made a buying decision. That's how hot a prospect that is. A Google prospect is somebody who's made a buying decision. So now all you have to do is route them or funnel them to the appointment. So we start running the Google campaign after we have run it. The first step, of course, is the database campaign, then next the Google campaign, and we watch how many patients, in this case, the customer is getting. And if they have enough patients coming in from just the Google campaign, we don't even have to get to the next steps. But here are the next steps we will be doing if they want even more patients. The next thing we turn on is what's called a Facebook campaign that is what's called geo-fenced. The campaign only targets people that are within a geographic area, and it's highly targeted to people who are a certain age group. They have certain interests. They are typically looking for health and wellness solutions. So the Facebook campaign is very much targeted. So we turn that on, and if we're getting enough leads and enough appointments and enough sales, we stop at that. But let's say the client or the practice wants even more. What's the next thing we do? Well, we have a very strong relationship with one of the most advanced text marketing groups in America, and they have literally tens of millions of folks that they can text and they could target, once again, by geographic area, by age, and by interest. So now, let's say you're getting a bunch of prospects, a bunch of appointments, a bunch of customers, a bunch of patients from the Google. campaigns. Then we turn on the Facebook campaigns and we let that roll. And then if the practice, say, wants even more new patients, then we could turn on the geo-targeted texting campaign, all of which are driving prospects to what? The first page of the funnel. Okay? But now we go further on this. So now we've got all these systems driving prospects, driving leads, driving appointments to the practice. What do we do next? Every week, we send out a weekly email that educates people even more. Because as you pile up leads, not everybody's going to fill out the, get an appointment. Not everybody's going to go to the practice. Not everybody's going to buy. So what you want to do is you want to continually educate week after week after week after week these prospects. So these are the steps, and there's even more, but I don't want to, I told you I'd try to keep this to a fairly short presentation. But the point is, with this type of funnel campaign, it's a celebrity-based system, you want to have traffic coming in from known sources. You want to use the funnel system to reactivate old leads. You want to draw people into that first page. You want to personalize. You want to educate on the first page. You want to create reach, create demand with that video. Then you want to drive them to that second page. They go through this process. They're educated, more videos, more information, until they get to the point where they go, my gosh, I got to talk to somebody. They fill out the lead form. They fill out the appointment form. They talk to a live person 24/7, 365 that locks in an appointment right away. And then we continue to educate week after week after week after week those people that don't get an appointment, don't see the practice, or don't buy right away. So I hope this was helpful. It gives you an idea of how this funnel system works. It's not just one page and a lead form. It's not just 2 pages and a lead form. It's not just videos. There's all sorts of things you have to do. You have to drive traffic. You have to educate. You have to follow up, and you have to follow up in an organized way. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this gets, and by the way, if you have not gotten involved yet with a funnel system, if you want to learn more, you can email me at bob@cshoptv.net. That's C like cat, SHOP TV.net. bob@CSHOP as in Paul, TV.net. So just remember that, bob@cshoptv.net. I want to thank you for attending our briefing, and I look forward to showing you even more results from the system.